All right, I happened to chat with my an Emirati subscriber. He's an Emirati Muslim guy from UAE who sometimes shares messages and all that, and he is kind of different. The thing about this Emirati guy is educated abroad, lived abroad, so he's a very different Emirati. He's not that typical Arab Muslim mentality. He's a very broad mind. So he happened to ask me this question. He's like, I'm single. I mean, I'm finding it so hard to get a life partner. I don't know what to do. So I told him, we were just discussing. So then I realized that I need to give him a deeper perspective. So anyway, he's not my client. So I thought, why not make a video and it'll benefit everyone. So this is for those of you who are single and who are thinking of getting married to a girl from the Far East. Some of the, do's and, not do's and don'ts, but some of the cautionary bits, because the assumption is if you marry a girl from the East, it's much better than marry from the West, which is true, which is true for the reason that because they come from a simple village background, very simple, they are far more simpler than a Western educated woman. But having said that, the dynamics of the world has changed ever since social media. That is why today the differences between the West and East have come down and become very thin. That's why today if you get a woman from the West, it's more like a girl from the East is also having the same thought process. So I thought in this video I'll give you the bits where you need to be careful. Okay, see, first things first, why would a guy get a girl from the East? Why? Obviously the preferences, the physical preferences are very important. Boys or men, we are visual in nature. And by the way, for girls who want a video on how to select a boy or something, if you want, feel free. If I see a sizable number of requests in the comment section, then obviously I'll make a video for that. Otherwise, if nobody's interested, it doesn't make sense, right? How to select a boy. Okay, so with regards to a girl, now the first thing for a boy, first thing for any boy, I would say that you need to be realistic in the sense that we men, all of us men, we are visual in nature. That's why when you see a girl showing her tits, when you see a girl showing her ass, or we watch porn. In fact, why do girls, when they have a new haircut, they're bending forward and showing their cleavage and then talking about their hair? Because they know this sells. Why do you think girls are, like, there's this female in my Facebook list of friends, every photograph of her is showing her ass. It's an ass shot, it's a boob shot, it's a, like, she'll open her legs a little bit to show her panty. It's so obvious, and she gives a spiritual message. It's so obvious what she's trying to do. So the main thing you need to first take care of is ensure that the person you're choosing first qualifies in the physical sense. So that is very important. So do you like tall girl, short girl, petite girl? Visually. That is why when we see, it's a first impression. And also be wary of the fact that ensure that you know the background, the genetics. Because if a girl her entire family is fat and she's the one who's thin, you can be rest assured as time passes by, she'll also put on weight. So keep that in mind. So obviously, first thing is physical. Long hair, short hair, all this. Yes, I'm aware of the fact some guys even go for breast size and ass size. I'm not very much a fan of that. Then if you're going to go on specifics for boobs and ass and this and that, you might as well go to a prostitute and satisfy yourself. For me, my first condition was the girl should be attractive to my eyes. She should be simple. I didn't want a doll or a clown who puts a bloody kilo makeup and takes hours and hours to get ready to show herself. I wanted a simple base. But today the problem is you also have Instagram filters and apps and phones that make you look what you're not. So there is a cautionary tale. So just be careful. So first thing is physical. Okay. The second one, I think is it's very important to know the girl's family. Now, obviously, if you are talking somewhere of the east, you can't get to know their family. So then, and you can't talk to them, you can't chat with them. So the best way is to find out what do they do, what is their trade, what is their background. In my wife's case, I found out that they are farmers. So a very simple lifestyle. Okay. And farmers means hard work, working in the sun, take the cows, grazing, this and that. So they work very hard. And obviously when chatting with my wife, I found out that she works a whole day from morning, comes back only in the evening at around 7 or 8. So she is not having the phone the whole day in her hands, which is another point I'll bring up. So physical work. So the family has these values of work. There's no free lunch. So family, okay? And where the family is concerned, you need to see how are their people. Are they simple? Are they showing off? Are they bragging and all? So you can figure out either social media or you can see them. Are they on social media? My wife's and none of her mother, father, nobody is on social media. Okay. The third is upbringing. Oh, this one is so important. I can't even stress. It's very important. In my previous video, I shared with you, the pampered princess. There are females who are so pampered by their parents. Oh, my daughter's so special. Oh, my daughter's so smart. Loy, you have no idea. She advises us. Oh, she gave me this idea. She gave me this. That is a disaster. The minute I hear this, keep away from this female. Why? Because the parents are busy inflating her ego that she actually believes the bullshit. And that is very bad. That's why for my daughter, I've told my wife, don't ever say that she's special. Don't ever say that she's talented. Never. In fact, don't even comment on, you look nice, you look bad. No, nothing. You look average, you are average. Now you'll be like, fuck, Loy, isn't that bad? No. I'm going to tell my child, you're average. But in order to be special, work your ass off. Work hard. I will put the values of hard work. I'll tell my child, you're not born special. There's nothing special about you. You're normal like everyone else. Work your ass off to get where you want to. Because there are people who are more talented, who have more opportunities, who have more training, who have more benefits, who have big budgets where they can be trained under the world's best. How do you compete against them, man? And why are you bullshitting with your child if your child is just going to end up being average and not the world's best? So I'm going to tell that. So upbringing is so important, where you let the child know that hard work is important. And the other factors that come in upbringing is the child obedient? Obedience is so fucking important. Like when I tell my child sit, the child is sit. Stand. Like the army, you have to listen. That is why today's children, when the father or mother talk, they stand. Why? They argue. Why do you think these Western children go to your room? No, mom, this and that, and argue. No, it's such a fucking headache, man. It's a madness. You wouldn't want that. Obedience is the second one in terms of upbringing. And then, I guess, humility, honesty, truthfulness, transparency, all that comes into all that, the upbringing part. So, does she lie to her parents? Does she tell the truth? Like my ex-girl, the girl who I tattooed here, her parents anyway were screwed up. And she used to always lie. So lying was second nature to her, which is unfortunate. And that's why she lied to me also later on. So upbringing. The third point, I think, which is very, very important is, which I wouldn't bring up, but in today's day and age, it's important, is social media. The impact of social media. Does this girl who you're planning to marry, does she put everything on social media? Does she keep showing her face to the whole world? Does she keep sharing every news, every update, every emotion, every feeling? Then you have a major problem, because you're talking of someone who seeks social validation. Likes, comments, shares, someone who cannot keep things to herself. She has to always share the whole world. And tomorrow, if you have a fight or argument, it's going to be published for the whole world to see. It's such a disaster, man. And then the possibility and probability of having an extramarital affair, so fucking high. See, my wife, I have all her passwords, all her login, everything. You know, the number of guys who send messages to her, even though on the Facebook, this thing, she's photographed with me, guys, actual real profiles from Dubai and all that. I want to be your friend. Oh, you're so nice. Oh, some idiots, even I love you, you know. And real profiles, not fake. You get that also. Then you get, like even for me, I get so many girls making passes. Okay, agreed. Some of them are fake. For guys, it's different. But there are girls with real profiles, you know, sending me, hey, like to get to know you. Can we be friends? Okay, I understand because of, you know, my fame or whatever you can call it, brand value or others, nobody would give a fuck. Because I remember the days when I had penniless and nothing, nobody gave a fuck. So, social media is very important because the person can get influenced. I'll tell you, even though my wife is not on social media, it was such a shocker when we got married. The first thing my wife told me was, after we got married, if you want, you can tell me to do any surgery you like. You want me to make my nose proper, my cheek, my chin, she calls it milk. She doesn't call it breast. You want it to become bigger. You want my ass to be shaped. You want operation for my legs, sides. I was like, what the fuck are you talking? What operation? Why? She told me, you know, all the females in my village, after they got married to a Thai man, they underwent surgery so that the husband would feel happy. And then he shows off on social media, this is my beautiful wife. And everyone says, wow, wow, wow. So I'm not beautiful, so if you want, I can do all this. I said, nothing doing. In fact, you're not even going to put makeup. I don't want you to put makeup. I made that rule. I said, I don't want any makeup, powder and all that shit in the house. You are beautiful the way you are. I married you for this. In fact, my wife put makeup the first time and looked like a fucking clown. When I saw a photograph the first time, I was like, what the fuck is it? She puts big eyebrows, so thick, and powder, and she doesn't know how to put makeup. Given the fact that my ex-girlfriends were models, and I'm friends with very close friends with one of the, I would say number one in the Middle East in terms of makeup training and all that. I know how expensive makeup is. I know it's an art, and not everyone knows it. So I was like, no, please stop. Don't put anything. That's why my wife never puts makeup. You see any photograph of my wife, no makeup. So I told my wife, and the reason for this is social media pressure, social pressure. I told my wife, you're not a showpiece for the world. I have not taken you for social validation and showing off. I'm not taking you to brag about it, how hot my wife is. I'm marrying you for a home. That's why when we got married, the first thing after we got married, I said, we are going to have a child. That's, no discussion. She was like, yeah, we'll have a child. So social media. Number 4 is the parents and relatives. Now it's important to talk to them and chat with them. I obviously don't expect after marriage to say bye-bye forever, But visiting the house or we going there, uncles, aunts, relatives, friends, that I cannot tolerate. Now, obviously, you're different from me. I don't expect you to keep away from your family. Just because I was born into a dysfunctional family doesn't mean you keep away from yours. But the main thing is the family interference. If the mother and father are busy talking in this ear and her relatives and her are talking this ear, it'll drive you mad. And what's even worse is your relatives are talking to you, her relatives are talking to her. In fact, so many girls, whatever they tend to blabber, it's not them. It's the mother and father, they say in our language, putting a key, turning, and then that toy you get, after winding the key, then the toy reacts. So same thing, most of the girls, they react because the mother and father have told them what to do. Obviously, if tomorrow my daughter, after marriage, my daughter were to ask me advice, I would be busy telling her my years of experience, right? So over there, what happens is, if you get someone who busy interferes, it destroys the marriage. Oh, it causes so many complications. You have no idea. So it's very important to have relatives, especially friends, away from the relationship. The worst is friends. If you have friends, oh goodness, get ready for more drama, more complications, more masala, more headaches, more absolute rubbish. Okay. And I would say the last point number 5, is expectations. This one causes a shitload of problems here. Let's say if the girl expects, now let's say for example you married someone in your college days. So obviously in your college you don't have many priorities or responsibilities. What do you have? Your only focus in the college days is to enjoy life, to be happy, to study, and then have fun. So if you get married to someone in your college days, and both of you wanted to enjoy, both of you wanted to have fun, both of you wanted to have a good time, then what will happen is these expectations remain. And then as you grow older, you become less romantic, less outgoing, you change with priorities. I've changed a lot. So then that romance also slowly vanishes. They say that 7-year itch, it slowly goes. The honeymoon phase, as they call it. So that is why, it's not, you shouldn't marry someone, especially for a boy. Don't marry someone your age, and if you marry someone older, there's another headache. Unless your personality is such where you don't mind taking barking orders, or you're very, you adjust with anything, or you are like a mama's boy, you don't mind taking instructions. But then you shouldn't get married, because it's like you're marrying someone to be your mother. Yeah, so when the person has expectations, causes a lot of problems. See, my wife, she doesn't have too many expectations other than I have to be honest, faithful, that's it. I have to love her, that's all. Now even there, she knows for a fact if I'm not faithful, if I'm not honest. I'll tell you this, my wife will still stay married because she doesn't have anything else to fall back on. Now I'm not asking you to marry someone and take advantage of this, but it's a very powerful truth that I need to take very responsibly. And please, one thing which I want to make very clear is, for you men out there, you also have a responsibility to be a man, to be a good human being. Just because I'm giving you these tips to get a submissive girl doesn't mean you target a submissive girl and then you absolutely and brutally take advantage of her. There are so many boys who I talk to on WhatsApp or social media or emails or messages. I tell them, listen man, you're not ready for marriage. Some of them are absolute assholes. Like, man, you're a fucking asshole. Please don't get married. Because you need a level of maturity. Why do you think I decided to settle down at 40? And even then, I had so much to learn and grow. Even today, I'm learning and growing. So you have a responsibility. Don't just fuck around. Don't just think, I'll get a submissive girl and then she'll listen and take my shit. No, that's a big fuck you that I'll tell you. That's wrong. Don't do that. I really work hard for this relationship. I had to change so many things about my life. You have that responsibility. You can't enjoy blessings without having responsibility, So, it's like expectations are very important. And my wife's only expectation is that we have a happy married life. We have some savings, house and all that. Those all you know, dreams of hers. It's easy to meet them. My wife, if I just go buy squid or prawns, she's happy. She'll not ask me for anything. Yeah, she does ask sometimes, this gold is, you can buy me for my birthday or something. But she never asks me anything more than that. She doesn't, I have to go for a movie, I have to go this, I have to go that. She'll ask the simplest thing like a child. So because the expectations are so low, it's easy for me to not only meet them, but go beyond them. And with the expectations come the other things that follow up, like demands, especially nagging. Oh my goodness, you can't. And because the expectations are low, she can adjust, with so many other things. I think I'll make another video, if you guys want, on why you should marry someone really young. Not too young. Don't go for something like 18. It's too hard. So, yes, my little one. I'm going to take them out for food afterwards. So, these are some of the key areas, And then obviously the other things like trust, and trust is paramount here. Trust, transparency, And you should be the man of the house because, and remember this, if I were to encapsulate all this, remember, the girl has to adjust to you. If you're really an alpha male, if you're really the one who's earning for the family, the girl is leaving her family and has to adjust to you. You, on the other, have the responsibility to evolve and become a better human being with higher standards. Then it's a beautiful relationship. Otherwise, I suggest if you're not ready for it, just keep fuck buddies or a girlfriend, or just go for paid sex, man. Because at the end of the day, remember what I told you. Marriage is a responsibility. It's not romance, it's not fun, it's not, party and romance and all that you see in the movies. Like even in the movies, after they get married, the end, finished, they achieved. They don't tell you the disasters after that. So anyway, these are some of the pointers that I want to give you. If you want more advice on this, or you can ask questions and put it in the comments below. I'll just give my perspective. Like I told you, I can be wrong, And that is why, because the expectations are low, she married someone who looks like this. All right. You guys take care. Put your comments down below. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. Ciao.